Hey, Tripp here from trippadvice.com, and you're probably wondering, how do I start a conversation with the girl? What's the easiest way when you see her at a party across the room, when you see her walking towards you on the sidewalk, when you see her at the bar, when you see her at the grocery store? What's the easiest way to start conversation? Well, I know that you've probably been asking the question, what is it that I say? And I found out over the years through lots of coaching and talking to you guys who are watching the video that the words to say isn't the real problem for you. And I'll tell you right now that the words that you say don't actually matter. You can pretty much open up with whatever you want. She usually doesn't remember the beginning of a conversation. It's how you continue it from there. But the whole thing is, it's not really what to say that is your issue. The problem is you still have that fear of going up and actually starting the conversation. You want the easy way in, and there is. I'm going to be telling you that in just a second. But I know that it's how you get in there is your biggest issue, not so much what is going to be the starting line. So that's what we're going to go over today. How do you get in there? How do you start the conversation? What's the easiest way to make this happen for you? But also, I'm going to give you a couple of great opening lines that you can use to make it even easier. Well, there's a couple concepts that I'm going to be deriving from other dating coaches and other pickup artists today. And that's because these are some of the best out there that have been the most helpful. And also I'm going to help you implement some of these ideas. So again, this becomes easy and becomes automatic for you. So one of those ideas is the 3-second rule, the idea of going up and talking to a girl as soon as you see her. Now, I know that this is one of the hardest things to do, but I want you to actually go out and be proactive at practicing the 3-second rule. I think that's something that a lot of guys don't really focus on. They think about, maybe how many girls they want to talk to during the day, or they maybe think about what the perfect line is to say, and that stuff doesn't really matter. That's just the things that's covering up the real issue. And the real issue, again, is getting you to go and talk to her as soon as possible. So the 3-second rule is what you want to abide by. And when I say 3 seconds, I literally mean 3 seconds. And Mystery, famous pickup artist, is the one who came up with this. He said, the second you see a girl you want to talk to, and you pretty much know instantly, let's be honest, when you see a girl you're attracted to, you're not thinking about it too much. And if you are, that means you're just trying to make an excuse in your head not to approach. And yes, I am reading your mind, aren't I? So you want to go over there as soon as possible when you see the girl. It should be, oh, I see her. Okay, I feel that attraction. 1, 2, 3, and as you're counting, you're going over there. And I know that this is something that you're not going to be able to do right away. It takes a lot of time to practice this, but I promise you that the more and more that you do practice the 3-second rule, just the idea of minimizing the time before you go over and talk to the girl, that is what's going to make it easy for you, and you're not going to care in the future about what to say and how to start the conversation, what the perfect pickup line is, and all those things. You're going to be going over there as soon as possible, and it's going to be easier for you. One great way to actually practice this is not just doing it with girls that you're attracted to, but doing it with any girl, and even doing it with guys. Anywhere, anytime, the 3-second rule, just being like, all right, there's someone who I can start a conversation with, and you don't think about it too much, you just go over there. Because here's what happens, and I'm just gonna be telling you what you already know. If you don't go over there within 3 seconds, or within 3 to 4 seconds, what happens is your mind comes up with every single excuse in the book to not get you over there to start talking to them. Whether it's, oh, she's walking too fast, or no, you know what I mean, that girl doesn't look so friendly, or she probably has a boyfriend, or you know what, I've already spent too much time thinking about it, I'll just do the next one, right? All these excuses come up in your head. So that's why you want to minimize it, and you want to do it with anyone you can, because this is a skill that can be honed. The more and more you practice this, the less anxious and less worried you're going to be about what it's going to be like to start a conversation with somebody. Now, to make this even easier, I have a great line that you can use to start conversation. It's literally a line that you can use every single time. You don't have to look any further. Now, if you've seen other videos of mine, I have my famous Starbucks opener where you can go up to a girl and you can ask her where the nearest Starbucks is. So that's something you can use. But here's one that's even better, that you can really use anytime. And you're gonna be like, oh my God, Tripp, that's so obvious. I've heard this one before. But if it's so obvious to you and you haven't used it, well, I think that's the first problem. So you should be using it. Here it is. It's basically this. Hey, what's up? That's it. Hey, what's up? Just like that. With a nice smile on your face and good eye contact, going over to a girl, or anybody and just saying, hey, what's up? And then here's a really good follow-up line. This is something I learned from David D'Angelo. Basically, when they respond to you, you can say, I knew it, you're friendly. Okay, so that's a really good follow-up right there. You say, hey, what's up? And then you can follow up with anything that you want. You can even say something like, oh, I'm just going around meeting people today. You seem cool. And you can tell her what you're up to, and you can tell her what you're doing. One concept that I talk about in my program, Hooked, is this idea of entertainment. And entertainment is this idea of being able to hold a conversation and talk to a girl and have it be interesting to you. Not so much interesting to her, but interesting to you. What is it that you want to talk about that's interesting? Because when you're talking to a girl and you're having a good time, you're going to be really transferring that energy over to her, this idea of the law of state transference. She's going to be feeling your excitement and your energy, and she's going to get excited because you're having a good time in conversation. It's very confident. Now, there is something else that you can use that are conversation topics that are interesting to her. And I think a really great mix of conversation topics that are interesting to her and things that are interesting to you will really make a great conversation. And I have those for you. That's a free video. You can get that in the description below. There's a link. It's called Chick Crack, and basically that's a bunch of conversation topics that girls are interested in. So you can check that out below. Again, that's in the description. It's totally free. So get that, and you can learn what those conversation topics are, and you can learn, what makes conversation interesting to you by going over and using this really quick 3-second rule, getting into conversation and just seeing what happens. A lot of guys don't really use this as an experiment. I tell guys, one of my theories of getting better with women is experimentation. Instead of thinking like every approach has to go really well and every conversation you have with every girl has to be amazing, just think about it as an experiment, as something to try out, to see what it's like, to see what conversation is like, and using these conversation topics or using the things that are interesting to you and just seeing what happens. And that's how you're gonna be getting better at having conversations with girls. So go ahead and get Chick Crack. Again, link is in the description, and I wanna hear from you. Let's talk about this. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions about starting conversation and good openers and pickup lines and things like that. So write your question down below. Let's talk about this in the comments. I wanna help you out even further because I know this is a huge topic for you guys. So go ahead and do that. Please like the video if this is something that was helpful for you and something that you learned from. So do that. I'll see you on the next video.